I'll start with roll call. Mr. Wilgus?
Here.
Mr. Waliana?
Here.
Myself here, Ms. Begay,
Present.
and Ms. Harden.
Here.
Next, we'll start with the board norms. Number 1, actively listen to all perspectives.
Opposed to do responding to concerns and questions as a unified board.
Model of professionalism we expect from all members of the district and the community. Customer service oriented.
Number 4, assume positive intent.
Number 5, be positive and responsive.
Thank you. Now you can join the board with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I salute the flag of the state of Mexico, with the indivisible, of perfect friendship among our united cultures. Thank you. Next, we have the, adoption of the agenda.
Mr. President, I move that we adopt the agenda, however, with some changes for the bar numbers. So looking at Title I, Part A, Title II, Part A, and Title IV, Part A, if the bars, if our code could be changed to 024, because that's our school designation, and then the bar towards the end, so instead of 0024, it should read 0035 for Title I. For Title II, it should read 0034. And then for Title IV, instead of the 0026, it should be 0036.
Thank you. I have a motion to adopt the agenda with the corrections made.
I move.
Motion is second. Any more discussion? All signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Next, we have public comment. I didn't receive any paperwork, Ms. Charlene, for any public comment. Is there anybody here that wishes to speak under public comment? I don't see anybody online, Mr. Twin. No? Okay. Okay, next we have number 4, Finance Committee Report. Ms. Begay, do you want to?
Sure. So we met last week. We were not able to get through our agenda. We're still trying to develop this relationship with our new finance organization that we're working with, and so we're getting familiarized with the paperwork, the way they present things, and so it's been a bit of a learning curve. There were lots of questions at our last finance meeting. We also had a special finance meeting today. We discussed some of the bars, Title I, Title II, Title IV. Like our Title I bar is directly related to student support services and instruction, and that money was allocated for general supplies and materials. We've discussed salary schedules. Our new superintendent, we got her on the phone today to clarify some things about raises. We talked about stipends, staff contracts. We are running late on the budget. We're not able to. Our new finance company is going to provide us with that later. It was also mentioned that we have money in ed tech funds that can be used. I had asked the question if teachers could purchase like smart boards for their classroom. It's just very specific that it has to be tied back to student learning. I'd also like to see our cushion improve. Our finance company told us that if we didn't get any funding, any of the existing funds, we could only carry out the district 1 month. And so I'd like to see a bigger cushion moving forward. Look like there's some money in food service as well for walk-in refrigerators. Mr. Carrillo, if you want to jump in. Anything else I might have missed?
No, you pretty much covered it. I want to mention that for today's
finance committee, the whole board was in attendance, so that was good to see. We can also change that and see if we can pass here something that if the whole board would like to attend the finance committee's meetings and be part of it, we can always open and change that. But I was glad we were on the same page and everybody was there today to just listen in and talk. So
Mr. Esqueda waved me down. I think I missed something.
I just had, I don't know if it'd be good for the district staff to hear what will be discussed about contracts or MOUs or whatever they call that. I know there's staff out there that have not received any kind of notification as to whether they're gonna be coming back next year. And I believe there's a discussion with the district attorney that's coming Friday. And I know they probably can't hear me, but
Oh, yeah, I can repeat that. So I forgot to mention that letter of intents did go out to our licensed staff, and the district finance department is currently working on a memorandum of employment, and they're talking with the district's legal counsel to fine tune those memorandums, and those should be going out after that. Our district school attorney approves the language in those memorandums of employment for unlicensed staff.
and just to clarify with Ms. Charlene on the minutes, Mr. George Esqueda is part of the finance committee. So I thank him for all he does and reminding us on a few things here. So just so the public knows, no one's just shouting out things out here. It's Mr. Esqueda and he's part of the committee. So.
Oh, and I forgot to mention too, our new superintendent wants to look at job descriptions, looking at job duties, and really fine tuning those across the district.
And for the finance committee report from last week that Ms. Begay just mentioned to today, you all were there and stuff. So if you have anything to add to this report on what you all saw today, you're more than welcome to.
we did have some discussion about the salary schedules, and there's still some loose ends on some, but most of them, especially like for the teachers, are already accepted. That's about all.
Okay. If there's nothing else, then Mr. Pepper, you had anything for finance committee report?
All
right, sir. I apologize, missed you. So we'll go to number 5 action items. A, approval of Calian agreement. Did I say that right? Or Calian?
Sounds good to me. Basically, what we've done is, this is all the school security stuff, so accessing some of that stuff from capital outlay funds, right, on Calian? Okay. 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 Calian is our door access, our cameras, some of that stuff. And so that's what this this quote is for. And like I said, we've got some door controllers we need, particularly at the middle school. I think there's quite a few. And that was one of the things that when I would visit the classrooms there, I'd have to borrow a key, and trying to get the right key in always disrupted the classroom. So I think those keyless entry, like our little badges, will help there. Also went around and identified spaces that were not visible, and looking at adding some additional cameras through the Verdaka. So, and that's like I said, additional cameras and door access for.
Mr. Piper, I also want to note that this did not come to the finance committee as well. I think last meeting I also had mentioned Frontline didn't come either. And you had said in future cases, you make sure they went through finance committee.
Okay.
And so, is there an issue with our process, or?
Well, I mean, if you guys approve it, that's fine, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's gonna go through, because you guys still gotta go through the state and do the obligation to get it approved that way, so.
So should we table it?
So this is from capital outlay money?
I believe this has got to go through capital outlay, but Crystal has a process that she has to go through to get approval before we can purchase anything. So this is a quote, and I,
So we're able to approve it, and then you're still gotta go through your process to the state. Right, but it'll be approved by the board and kind of,
So this is a quote, not an agreement as listed on the agenda?
right.
Okay.
And that was, like I said, this has been provided by Caitlin, and she's out sick today.
And this is over 60,000, so doesn't it meet the threshold of going through an RFP?
Not if the vendor is, CES
okay.
vendor, Cooperative Educational.
And I think we've used them for our other security
Right.
stuff as well.
And within CES, there's not multiple companies that are eligible to apply?
There are, but say if it were to go through, it got obligated or whatever, we would still need to take them to get 2 additional quotes,
Okay.
just to have it.
And if we go with this one and those 2 additional quotes are less than this one,
This is part of the Verdaka system, and I'm not sure someone else's equipment's going to be compatible. You know, that's the one thing we'll have to check on as well.
so this is a system that's already in place in all the schools,
Yes.
Verkada, right?
Yes.
And now we're adding more equipment
Right.
of Verkada
And,
to it.
and your department actually has access to the system as well currently, right?
Yes.
This is the company we've worked with since the beginning with school
Right.
security.
So,
So it's not like you're getting a different system or different stuff.
and then for clarification, do you want any purchase to go to the finance committee?
If it meets the threshold where it needs the,
Okay. Right, and right.
and outside of the finance department, finance should be making a recommendation to the board prior to any approval.
Okay.
Okay, so then right now the process would be if the board decides today to approve this, we're just making the approval of the purchase of the $78,174.70. And then it still has to go through the process of obligation. And I mean, worst case scenario can get denied.
Yeah.
And then-
denied, then they have to go and if it's not CES, then it's gonna have to go up to the
Okay.
And
Do we
there's
know
been-
if this is a CS vendor?
Yes.
It is,
Yes.
okay. Yeah,
And there's been several that just went through, and since Priscilla's our fiscal agent, we send her copies of everything as well, the POs, the invoices, all of that.
Okay.
So,
All right.
The amount is actually inclusive of these costs on here, which is another overtime.
so I guess just an approval to move forward with the capital outlay process.
So, Mr. Piper, Mr. Oleano was just mentioning, so we have a subtotal of 78,174.70. Then right underneath it, there's more charges, for example, an arm mount, corner mount, that mounts up to over, I'm gonna say maybe even $11,000 or $12,000. Is that added to that 78, or is that already?
I'm actually missing page 2 of my document, so all I've got is page 1 and page 3.
You know,
we're missing
we're
page
missing
2.
Page 2.
So, yeah.
Okay.
So let me get you the
Well,
rest of that. I'll email that stuff out to you.
No problem, Charlene. Thank you. You know what? Maybe this is a sign, I guess. So the board will decide to table this or approve it. However.
Is it-
I'd say table,
Is it real needed, Mr. Piper?
Well, I mean, we've got all summer to work on this now that students are gone, so I don't see a problem tabling it.
I'd like to make a motion to table the Killian agreement.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. So any more discussion? Then all in favor by saying aye?
Aye.
No opposed. We'll move on to next approval of RFP 2026-05-28 SLES flooring.
Thank you, guys. So what we have here, it's a very last minute RFP. because Shay wants to get this project done while the students are out. So it's just to redo the flooring at San Lorenzo.
And I've been there a few times, and it's been recommended, and I think
I've
it's
got
much
pictures
needed.
of it if you wanna look at it.
No, I've been there. I think it's much needed. So, what does the board have any more input on it?
I visited the site today and I agree. It's a good time to do that. And they've already shifted everything into a position to start that process.
Well, yeah, there was like, she was ready to go, but she didn't know the process. And so that's why it's.
And
here
to their
last minute.
credit, they've done all they can do.
Yeah.
They did painting and all the other kind of stuff on their own. So,
Yeah, and Shay's worked with me and gotten me everything that I've needed, so.
They actually tried to do the quotes, hoping it would be under 60,000. And when it started coming in over, then we had to go to the RFP.
Yeah.
So will they be also addressing asbestos? Because in school buildings, typically of that age, there's asbestos in the tile.
So
these are carpet tiles. These are
That I
carpet tiles.
have-
They're not,
Yeah, it's mostly carpet
Yeah.
that's going to be replaced. It's carpet that's,
Yeah.
it's sort of been, I'm going to say stained from when fire has used it. It just seems like real dirty and grungy.
But do we know for sure? Because don't we have?
I don't know what's.
yeah,
it's-
all I was told was flooring, and I was thrown off guard because I didn't know where the funding was coming. I didn't know
all of it is
any
carpet.
of it.
All of it is carpet and it's not, yeah.
But
And
don't
I
know
didn't
what's under
include
the
anything
carpet.
for
So that's a
asbestos.
good point.
It's,
So,
And that
A
might
slab.
have to be a different.
oh, is it just concrete slab?
yes.
Okay.
And then I see your kind of like the dates and everything. June 16th is like your contract award.
So it's a tight timeline because
Yeah.
we need to get the work done during the summer.
Will it be done by
But-
the school?
Yeah, because I put the deadline that it has to be done at a certain date in the
Yeah,
contract
yeah, okay.
or when the contract's done. And I did look, my advertising will be out within 10 days, and that gives them the 10-day period for them to get their stuff in, so.
I just like for us to check for asbestos of a building of that age.
I can include that like in the contract when we award and just put asbestos check.
Okay.
Or I could, when we award a vendor, I could include it in the contract.
Or mold. I mean, it's
Okay.
carpet too.
And then if they find it, then we can go out and find, well, I don't know if they're gonna be able to
The
do the
abatement
floor if
fees,
it's found, but
When you're asking for the bids,
Mhm.
ask them if they can get carpet big enough where they don't have to seam.
well, I don't think they're putting carpet. I think they're doing hardwood and tile.
I was gonna say, when she talked to me, she said carpet,
She said carpet.
because they found a real tight pile for commercial buildings.
I don't know.
I thought it was flooring and tile too. I don't know.
Yeah,
Did
I think
change their
she
mind?
told me it was tile.
'Cause they have
Oh, well,
carpet
yeah,
right now,
carpet
right?
tile,
On carpet.
carpet
She
tile.
mentioned Berber, which.
And that was in the
I think is
classrooms.
In the classroom, she said carpet because of the kids scooting around and stuff, and it would scratch the tile, and that's why they wanted the carpet.
Yeah, the classrooms have tile carpet. My apologies.
The big problem with, like they've got right now, is they have seams in the middle of the room, 3/4 way of the room, and all that seam is tape. They lay the tape down and then they iron it to melt the wax.
So, are other schools eligible to get new flooring, like Hurley Elementary?
So this was a thing when Shay came to me. I didn't know anything of the budget. Nothing was told to me. I don't know where the funding was coming. And then emails went, and Rebecca just said there was funding for this.
Do we know
That's
which line
all I was
item
told.
it's coming out of, or?
I believe it's SB9. So, and all of the schools, when Frank was here, he told him that there was some money that could be used for furniture, for capital type of assets. And Shay was the only one that responded. So,
But is it
Yeah.
still eligible to other schools? Like if they hear our meeting tonight and Laverne says, I want new flooring at my school, is she eligible to get new flooring? for
we
her
can
school?
see if we can get the process going and get it done.
I've been asking for a budget, and all I've been told is there's funds available.
Okay.
So I'm just trying
So
to
you
get
have
this
to
taken
start
care of.
Another RFP if another school wanted to do this?
If
Or
it's below the 60, then no,
Right.
but if it's above the 60, then we'll have to do a RFP, just depending what they want.
Could it be, like, say you got on the phone and called the Hurley principal or Bayard principal, could they be added to the RFP?
Probably
That
not.
timeline's gonna
Probably
be-
not, because I think with the timeline that I'm with, we'd have to just do it
Okay.
separately.
But the door's open though, at least for, I know
Yes,
you don't know how much
if we
of the
know how
funding,
much
but if
money's
they-
there.
If they wanna, fix something, they can come to you.
I'd say let's do it.
Okay.
Motion to do it.
So I have a motion?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the RFP 2026-0528, and to also add the asbestos as well as mold to it.
Okay. I will make sure to add that to the contract.
Okay, so I have a motion. Which I had two, but, one of them will be a second, so.
The second is an amendment to the first one, so all you have to do is say you agree to the amendment and then we can vote.
All right, so motion is second. All in favor by saying aye?
Aye.
Thank you, guys. And I could also do an amendment to this RFP and include it on there to look for it. So
Okay, thank you for your work.
I'll post an amendment.
Thank you. Next we have is C, approval of bills, March and April in 2026. This came through the finance committee, right?
Yes, and
And we saw-
actually, there's 2 months, because I think in our April finance committee meeting, the bills and the credit card both, for March were not available. So this
Right.
does include March and April's, bills, at this point.
And I think we didn't have, we had some questions, but it was nothing.
So what we kind of discussed on the bills and, well, never mind, it wasn't the bill, so I'll wait till we get to the credit card statement. I'd like to make a motion to approve the bills for March and April 2026.
So I have a motion
Second.
and a second. Any more discussion? Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
No opposed. D, approval of credit card statement.
So in finance, we talked about, developing some policies around, violating the purchase order process. Crystal had said there's really no teeth for someone that, if they don't follow the correct process that the district requires, there's no like verbal warning, written warning of that employee. And so we had discussed about developing a policy for that, as well as a policy on, like banned restaurants for our coaches to take teams to. Mr. Piper has suggested maybe they can't travel to restaurants that serve alcohol, or a list of approved restaurants, places to take teams. And then the other thing was Miss Alma Grijalva had said that she can also provide meals to our athletic teams. And that hadn't occurred to anyone. She said no coach has taken her up on it, but that they can also get meals through the food service for their trips. Breakfast, lunch, dinner.
Whatever it was, yeah. That's right. Thank you, Ms. B.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. I forgot to mention that. And a policy put in place because someone recently made a purchase of, I think, airfare and hotel for someone and went through a third-party booking site, and then the district could not cancel that.
Yeah, it was for better use of hotel.
Or for a new superintendent's travel. And so it was purchased through a third party, and so it clearly has states that that's not allowable for public schools to do that. And so the district was not refunded the money for that.
And
Oh, yes, and then thank you for that. And then also we discussed DoorDash and Uber Eats. We know that it could be convenient, but we also had said there's coaches that plan ahead, kind of have their meals planned out. And so I think there was a charge on there for like $300 for Uber Eats. And we had seen it in the past for DoorDash. And so we discussed that as well.
was there any discussion about the amount spent on a meal for that one instance that there seemed to be a competition on who can spend the most.
Yes, they clarified that the school pays a certain amount for the meal, and if they have the funds in their account to exceed that, like for instance, the cheer team, they went to a hibachi restaurant and they surpassed the amount that was allowable, but they had enough funds in their account to cover the rest.
And are we overseeing the amounts so that there isn't a disproportionate or a violation of Title IX rules?
We had asked about the fundraising and they said whatever they fundraise is what is allowable.
Who is they?
Our finance department.
But moving forward, I did talk to Dr. Gutierrez about this because she was concerned as well that there needs to be more oversight on the spending. So when she comes in, I'm not sure if she's gonna appoint somebody or her do it herself, but she did tell me that she wanted to make sure that she sees all the transactions from the schools, the meals and all that, because right now we're not sure.
It's pretty
Yeah,
disparate.
yeah, we're not sure. So she did assure me that when she comes in, she'll start kind of putting that in place and speaking with us as well.
Thank you.
And that's one of the things, if the team doesn't get to eat, I'll use softball, for example. I mean, they had 3 games in a row.
So I was gonna use that example.
And I don't know how they fed the girls, because quite honestly, to me, I mean, we can't just send a parent out. Now, maybe an assistant coach can go out with a credit card, but to me, something where the kids are there. I mean, they were at the field all day. I mean, maybe sometimes maybe having food delivered would be an option, but I don't think it's something that if you're sitting at the hotel and you're just lazy and you want a snack, that you have it sent in.
Right.
But many times those girls probably didn't get to eat the meals that they were scheduled for the day. So maybe at the end of the day, they'll go to Texas Roadhouse. And so if they've got, I'm going to say $12 a meal, then they've actually got $24 a meal because they had the 2 meals that they didn't get.
Right.
And then if it goes over that, then there is their activity fund that they fundraise for. So.
Right, yeah, and we spoke about that whenever we do hopefully come up with something in writing as far as where they can go eat. If they're even like, I don't know if the wrestling goes all day, softball went all day, only on those tournaments, if they're able to use,
And maybe it just needs to be pre-approved so that we know, hey, this is what's going to happen and this is why it's going to happen. And then it's explained. I think powerlifting was the same way. I mean, they were there basically all day for that meet. So, and golf's probably the same way, except they don't have time to eat. I mean, it's from one hole to the next. But, it is one of those things that, they missed lunch. So basically all they get is dinner. So that's where, the 2 meal allocation is applied.
May I add something to that? So for like wrestling, when they're out and they're on certain diets, they can only eat certain things, the coaches will get a PO and take ahead of time. So if they need to go to Walmart to get them meals, like I mentioned before, bags would buy stuff and take stuff to get sandwiches while they were there.
And I know with wrestling, they did some meal prep so that it was not the heavy type of stuff that was going to, change their weight. Powerlifting was the same way. And they did a lot of meal prep type of stuff.
They got, those ones got their POs in place ahead of time.
Right.
For just in case.
Okay, thank you for the updates, Ms. Begay, Mr. Piper, and Ms. Crystal. Thank you all. So we just need approval for the credit card statements.
I make a motion to approve the credit card statement.
I have a motion
Second.
and a second. Any more discussion on this? So I'll signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Next, we have the approval of bars.
Okay, the first bar, 024002526-0019I is an increased bar. The amount of the adjustment is $35,616. This is student transportation. And all of these have been vetted through the finance committee last week and then
The last
some
three.
of them today.
The
Yes.
last 3 were today, and we were able to get through all of them last week, just so the board knows.
Do you want to go through each one during this time as well?
I think so.
Okay, they're listed separately, so.
Maybe vote on them
I think when you
individually.
vote individually, we don't, it's not like it's a consent, like consent agenda or consent thing, so I think we might have to vote individually on each of them.
I'd like to make a motion to approve 2526-0019-I, 13,000 pupil transportation.
With a motion? And a second. Any more discussion? Then all signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Next,
Okay, 0020I is also an increase. It is for REC. So the REC was the fiscal agent for this, and it was a hard to staff basically for special education that if the teachers qualified with X number of years experience and that, they were provided a stipend. And so the REC had this funds. We set our list of staff. They did that. It's an increase of $17,500, all of which went to special ed teachers to cover a stipend type of thing. This came from the state, and then their benefits and stuff as well. $17,500.
thank you, Mr. Piper.
I'll make a motion to approve 26107 REC District Fiscal Agent for the hard to staff special education stipends.
I have a motion
I second.
and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Next,
0021I is also an increase. This is all operational funds. 176,457. The money's distributed through several different functions, instruction, student services, just areas where it was identified that we may be a little short or could use a little boost, and that's where the additional funds were allocated. 176,457.13.
So I have a question. Are the stipends that we discussed in finance still gonna go through operational? Because it still has them listed for the salary increase, salary expense, administrative associates, and it lists a 5,000. And I know we discussed this. It was additional compensation for 2 employees.
That is not happening at this point in time. That's where the money was allocated, but it can be moved once again through another bar. We've decided to hold off on those stipends as requested, and that'll be Dr. Gutierrez's call. And so nothing's going to be done with that, but it is in this bar, and if it's not needed, then we can make a transfer through operational as well in a future bar.
thank you. Any more questions on? Okay,
I ask that we table this until we can reflect the stipends be removed or the additional compensation. But I'd like to make a motion to table this, this particular bar.
I'd second it.
I have a motion and a second discussion. I have a question, Mr. Piper. So the reason for this special meeting was to approve these bars? And what happens if we don't approve one of them?
We'll just have to do it on the 15th.
Okay, so we don't get penalized or anything?
No, there's no penalty for it or anything, so.
Okay, so there's a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All pass.
So I will put this on the agenda for Finance Committee the 10th of June for review, and then back on the board meeting on the 15th, correct?
Yes, sir.
Got it.
Thank you. Next item, Mr.
0022T, this is a transfer. And so what we're doing is we're just moving funds from taking them out of some professional development and putting them into supply assets just to help balance out. So actual change, no change within the fund, but just within the object codes. So, and the amount moved was 467.16.
Thank you. Any question? Need a motion?
I'd like to make a motion to approve 27/5/23 fiscal year 25 training secondary educators.
Have a motion
Second.
and a second. Any more discussion on this? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Next item.
Okay, 0023 is also a maintenance bar. And what we're doing is we're just moving some funds from one area to another. So within the bar, you'll see some that are negatives. We've transferred out of those different functions and object codes, and then put them, they're all in the same function. We've moved them from some of the object codes to others. Some of those are some of the benefits and stuff that are there, health insurance, life insurance for different job classes. And that's where just with the maintenance bar, just trying to get that stuff done. Bottom line is there's no change to the fund at all.
Thank you.
I'll make a motion to approve the bar 27/5/23 train secondary educators, the maintenance bar.
I apologize. Have a motion
I'll second.
and a second. Any further discussion?
Yeah, I have a question. If all of these are under the 1,000 instruction line item, or why is it that we would have to do a bar?
No, are you talking about the classification at the I? The I stands for an increase.
No, I'm talking about account number 1,000 instruction.
The one we just approved?
Yes.
This is the reading instruction and stuff. Came through House Bill 2 this year. And basically what we're doing is we're just making sure, because when you get to the object code and some of those locations, the one thing that Vertex is trying to do is they're trying to use location codes. If you'll notice, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns over. What they're trying to do is divide it out so that we can tell what's spent at the high school, what's spent at the middle school, and then the elementary schools as well. So that's something that I haven't seen in the past, and that's where they're trying to get some of that stuff done. So within this one, you'll see most all of this stuff is basically high school and middle school, and just trying to get that all spread out. And then there's the third column over, the object code is basically educational retirement, retiree health care, general supplies and materials. So it's just out of different object codes to get it spread out to balance out.
I'm still curious. It's not, it's something that could be transferred. It's not leaving its original intent, other than being in a different subcategory.
Well, and that's why it's maintenance rather than transfer. Maintenance, we're just dealing all within this this main fund and function.
Okay.
All right. So I have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Next, Mr. Becker.
0024D, this is a decrease. This was our pre-K. They ended up taking a look at our numbers and stuff and saying we were provided $127,010 more than what the students generated. We did send a letter appealing that, hoping that they would be able to keep that. And basically, they said, no, we needed to send it back. So there's a decrease, and the different line items that it was taken out of to make up the $127,010.
Thank you. Any questions?
The location for this is the district office. Is that something then that was something that?
Well, the preschools all sort of run as a district-wide program, and it's just the way that pre-K stuff works. And since we really couldn't individualize which schools to take it from, that's why it was basically just as the district office as a whole.
Okay. We only have one
No, we have all the schools have pre-K.
Yeah, the 4 elementaries have a pre-K, yes.
Just need a motion.
I make a motion that we approve 27,149 pre-K.
Motion, need a second.
Second.
There's a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Next, Mr. Piper.
0025D is also a decrease. This one is in preschool IDEA B, so related to the special education programming. And once again, it's going to show the entire district office. This decrease was only $1,573.81.
Thank you. Any more questions? Need a motion? There's a motion, a second.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Go ahead, Mr. Piper.
0026D, another decrease. This is entitlement IDEA-B, so basically the special education. Total decrease amount, $321,607.89, and a variety of different areas where we had to withdraw some of that money from to make up the difference. So some of it came out of salaries, expenses, educational retirement, healthcare benefits, supplies, materials, and that. So that's where the funding came out of for that decrease.
Thank you. Any questions?
There's a lot of money involved in this one, and some of it's going out to contract workers. So does that mean that contract workers didn't provide any services, or?
For the decrease in stuff, the line items that we've taken it out of is basically where there's some money allocated. I think, after our finance meeting today, and correct me if I'm wrong, but my understanding was we have some Medicaid money that's not being spent that I think needs to go to some of those ancillary type of services and stuff. And so that's one of the things I made notes of that I want to visit with Vertex about is, what is this? What is this funding? What's it for? Because our Medicaid funding comes from the billing that our ancillary people are providing. And so that needs to flow back into the special education programming. So that's the one thing that I'm going to look at with them tomorrow.
This isn't a matter of money coming in. This is a matter of
Right.
going back.
Right. And that was because of a decrease that, came from the public ed department that we had to decrease. So if we pulled money out of these areas, we're going to have to make it up somewhere else. So either operational is going to have to pick up some of the expense on salaries, or, the educational retirement, the speech therapists and stuff. A lot of that is stuff that was budgeted, and there was money in that line item to where it could come out to take care of the decrease that the public ed department said.
So to get back to the question, is this services that were provided, or the remaining amount that was left for those services?
There was money budgeted. So the present budget, there was, if you were looking at support services for students, third from the bottom, there was $100,000. That's what was budgeted, and we've got to adjust that amount. So we're taking that $100,000 that was in a present budget and decreasing it the $100,000. That doesn't mean that only $100,000 was in the present budget, but that's where some of the money came from, because we couldn't pull it all from one area. It was just too much to pull from one object code. So that's why it's spread out through the entire IDEA programming.
Why,
I think Mr. Guadiana was asking, was there money, where did kids get those services, and was that money left over? It didn't affect student services.
Yeah, all the kids received their services. And if they don't receive their services, then we have to make up that time. So everything that's within their IEP, service-wise, is provided.
And we had 321,000 that was budgeted over what it is that was provided.
At this point, probably more than that, because I'm sure that didn't, it basically didn't run everything to zero. So, but that's what we had to do. We had to take some from, several different areas. What is there, about 9 items, 10 items there where we pulled just different amounts. So, school psychologists, counselors, we may have pulled money from there to help make up the decrease that, the public education department, said that we had to decrease.
This has never happened before, correct?
I mean, there's always increases, decreases, those type of things. So it's just hard to tell. I'm sure there've been decreases before. I don't know about special education. And if this has happened in the past, it's like the one with preschool that we just talked about. That was something that PED just looked at it and said, hey, your numbers aren't what you projected them to be. So, we're going to take some of this money back. And that's probably the same thing with the public education, with the IDEA. Maybe their programming said, hey, you know what? You overestimated, or maybe some kids have transferred out and not generating the funding. So they look at our 80th day and 120th day numbers and then determine what funding we're going to receive. So if the funding is down from, and this is actually, when we get our funding, it's previous year funding. So the funding we received this year, 25, 26, was based on our 24, 25 numbers. So that's what makes it hard, is you're not working with your current funding. I mean, if you have some real high need kids come in, then you may end up having to provide some services. I know, I think we had a high needs student that may have left the district that, no longer being in the district is probably saving us some money on some of our ancillary. But once again, this is just a decrease that the public education department says, hey, you know what, you've got a decrease here. And if we run out of money within the IDEA, that 24106 fund, we're going to have to pay for it out of operational or another fund. So if Medicaid can cover some of the costs, then we can look at that as well.
I appreciate trying to explain it, but to me, it seems almost like it's either a drop in census that would result in a savings to this amount, or it's an arbitrary thing that the state came up with.
Well, and it's probably based on our numbers and stuff. I mean, they do preliminary numbers off 120th day and our 80th day.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I don't know, they go back and do that stuff all the time. And it's like the pre-K one. We just get notice that we need to make a decrease, and that's what we do.
321,000. Wasn't that much. Okay, thank you.
Any more questions? I need a motion.
There's been one and there's been.
Has there? I'm sorry, and a second too?
Yeah.
Well, that was a long discussion. Oh, okay. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passed. I didn't even,
I think Gilbert moved,
you made the
I
first?
think I made the motion.
and,
then the
and
second-
I did
she
the
made
second.
Okay.
No,
Yeah.
there was a lot of discussion on that one.
Okay.
Go ahead, Mr. Piper.
Okay, 0027, local revenue fund, operationally. This is an increase, 92,689. It was just put into general supplies and materials for regular education, K-12 programming. And once again, basically just to the whole district office so that it's there for supplies and materials that may be needed. It wasn't actually broken down by so much per site. So it's right there as a whole in the district. So 92,689 and 96 cents.
Any question? No questions? Need a motion?
I make a motion to approve 15,200 local revenue operational.
Have a motion. Second? Second. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Next, Mr. Piper.
0028I, once again, an increase to the athletic. This one's athletics. So increase of $55,654. It's going into basically co-curricular, extracurricular activities. And once again, since the athletics is high school and middle school, it just shows as the district office, goes into supplies and materials, student travel, and some other charges. So $55,654.
Thank you. Any questions? Any questions? Need a motion?
Make them,
The motion, a second?
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? And all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Next, Mr. Beck.
0029I, once again, an increase, once again, athletics. So it goes into general supplies and materials, $223. And once again, shows for the district office.
Any questions? Need a motion? Motion
Second.
and a second. Further discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Next one, Mr. Becker.
0030, once again, an increase. This is 31,100. This is our Go Bond. And the adjusted amount is a whole $6. And that's, so it's going to be put into construction services.
Any questions?
The whole thing?
The whole thing.
Don't spend it on one spot.
Need a motion?
So moved.
Motion second
Second.
and a second. Any more discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Next, Mr. Becker.
0031I, once again, an increase. This is our Ed Technology Equipment Act. It's going to be an increase of $65,707. The money is going to be put into communication services and some software.
Any questions? Need a motion?
So moved.
Second
Second.
and a second. Further discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Mr. Becker.
Okay, 0032I, once again, an increase. This is 4,100. This is our GO debt service account, increase of $2,909.
Any questions?
This is a rebate from the service?
I think that this is the interest from it.
Right, yeah, the interest that comes from the account.
Need a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
There's a second. Further discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Next, Mr. Becker.
Okay, 0035 is an increase. And I don't have those bars in front of me, but it is Title I. And the increase was $153,894.65. And this was carryover.
Any questions?
Was it Title I or Title II?
Title I. Oh, sorry, yeah, so,
I was gonna say, my paper
okay,
says
yeah,
Title
3.4, this is 3.4, which was Title II.
Okay.
But Title I is 3.5. So I hit 3.5, which is Title I. And that was the increase of the 153,894.65 was Title I. So the numbers on the agenda are off just a hair.
Okay.
So
Need a motion?
Someone,
Motion. Second.
I'll second.
Second. Any further discussion?
How is it reflective of a bar without having the budget adjustment request?
the budget adjustment requests were done in the finance committee, and I just don't have them in my packet. I think they were sent to us, but I didn't have it printed out.
No, Mr. Guadiana is correct. It was barely provided to the finance committee during the committee. when we had already called the meeting to order. So it was not in the packet.
Okay,
And then the finance committee members just got it today as well.
since we all interpret, I have no objection.
Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Next, Mr. Pepper.
Okay, 0034I is Title II. And that also is an increase, 22,008, well, my eyes are getting bad. 22,614.07. And that was an increase in Title II, which is professional development.
Any questions? No questions, need a motion?
So moved.
Motion?
Second.
And a second. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Next, Mr. Pepper.
0036I is an increase. This is Title IV. Once again, just an increase, $10,337.50.
Any questions? No questions, need a motion?
So
Motion
Second.
and a second. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
aye.
Aye. Next, we have adjournment.
I move that we adjourn.
We have a motion
Second.
and a second. We're adjourned.